Good morning, everyone. It is my great honor to welcome each of you to this commencement ceremony for our Master of Arts in Counseling program in the Center for Applied Psychological and Family Studies. My name is Anthony Chambers, and I am the director of the center as well as the chief academic officer at the Family Institute. In my role, I oversee all graduate education programs and research. First, I'd like to extend a very special welcome to family, friends, our faculty, our incredible operations staff who put on this event, our alumni, board members, and most importantly, congratulations to the class of 2024. To the graduates, you have received a world-class education from two world-class institutions in Northwestern University and the Family Institute. And that education is fortified by a faculty unmatched in their commitment to launching the next generation of therapists and scholars. To say we are living in unique and challenging times would be an understatement by any measure. Over the past few years, we had to deal with COVID-19. And then the world came to its feet for injustice when we all witnessed the murder of George Floyd. Then came about other challenges, including the economic uncertainty with the rise of inflation, global unrest in the war in Ukraine and the atrocities and polarization in the Middle East, and now unprecedented political polarization. When I reflect on all these critically important societal challenges, the psychologist in me can't help but try to identify what are some of the causal common factors. I have come to conclude that the most important factor and challenge we face is our lack of connection, which prevents us from bridging our differences. I believe human connection is arguably the most fundamental and basic human need that we have. Without connection, I believe we are at risk for increased conflict, decreased empathy, and poor mental health. It turns out that there are many other scholars who have reached the same conclusion. In fact, the Surgeon General has called loneliness the crisis of our time. He has espoused that the lack of connection, ironically enabled by technology, has been linked to an alarming spike in mental health problems. And the data would certainly back that up. For instance, the West Health Gallup poll found that 51% of Americans say they experienced depression, anxiety, or some other mental health issue in the past year. Some of you, especially the parents in the audience, may have heard about a New York Times best-selling book that just came out earlier this year. The book is called The Anxious Generation by Dr. Jonathan Haidt, who's a social psychologist. I had the pleasure of knowing him when we both worked at the University of Virginia. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it. In his book, he contends that we are replacing human encounters that produce meaningful relationships with inch-deep online connections. He then referenced research by psychologist Dr. Jean Twenge. And in her book, which is also a bestseller and a must-read, she marked 2013 as the year when the mental health crisis skyrocketed. That was also the year when more than half of Americans had a smartphone. That was also the year that Facebook acquired Instagram, which marked the beginning of the selfie era. She went on to say that when adolescent social lives moved online onto smartphones, mental health plummeted. A 2021 CDC study further confirmed the mental health crisis that we are experiencing when they surveyed 17,000 high school students and found that 42% of the high school students experienced persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness. And a staggering 24% of US teenage girls have made a suicide plan. A solution to this crisis was offered by my dear colleague, Harvard psychiatrist Dr. Robert Waldinger, and psychologist Dr. Mark Schultz in their book, The Good Life, also a New York Times bestseller. In their book, they described the longest scientific study on happiness ever conducted. I had the privilege to work with Dr. Waldinger on this study when I did my postdoctoral studies at Harvard Medical School. The book details a multi-generational study that began in 1938 and continues to today. Every 2 years, participants have to answer detailed questions about their life. And every 5 years, they have to submit medical records. And every 15 years, they are interviewed face to face. The goal of this longitudinal study is to answer the age-old question, what makes for a good life? The answer is not money or fame, as you might think. The study found that the key to a good life is to have good relationships. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier and help us live longer. They found that people who were happiest in their relationships in life at age 50 were the healthiest mentally and physically at age 80. Conclusion, building meaningful and satisfying relationships is in your best interest. And their conclusion maps perfectly into the mission of the Family Institute, where relationships are our passion. My area of specialty is couples. And I am fond of saying that the central task of marriage, or really of any relationship, is the management of differences. In order to successfully manage our differences, we can't feel threatened by the differences in others. We can't let our differences become divisions. To the graduates, a core question that your clients come is how to sustain hope in this winter of anxiety and fear. When clients come to therapy questioning their capacity to overcome, you have learned the tools to help clients realize that their capacity may very well be limitless. Clients invite us to come and look at their wounds. Their pain is real, and often through moments of anger and intense emotion, our clients are simply wanting to be seen. They are asking, can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you feel me? When we as therapists are able to look into their eyes and say, I see you, that is the moment when healing begins. In another New York Times bestselling book, How to Know a Person, The Art of Seeing Others Deeply and Being Deeply Seen by David Brooks, he writes, quote, some days it seems like we have intentionally built a society that gives people little guidance on how to perform the most important activities of life. As a result, a lot of us are lonely and lack deep friendships. It's not because we don't want these things. Above almost any other need, human beings long to have another person look into their face with loving respect and acceptance, end quote. He goes on to say that there are diminishers and illuminators. Diminishers are people who do not know how to see you. They are not curious about you. They stereotype, and they don't ask questions. Illuminators, on the other hand, are curious about you. They make you feel respected and known, and they can see the world from your point of view. I would argue this is the key differentiator that makes for great therapists. Your faculty and supervisors have spent a great deal of time and effort ensuring that all of you go into the world as illuminators. I believe the antidote to loneliness is connection. Connection is what we all try to promote in the therapy room. Connection happens when we are able to facilitate the hearing of similarities of stories. And when confronted with the difference, you have learned to model and embrace a stance of curiosity and seeking to understand rather than to judge that difference. Graduates, I challenge each of you to embrace an ethical responsibility to make this world a better place by facilitating the creation of authentic connections and relationships, one client, one couple, one family at a time. Remember that mental health is not just about the absence of mental illness, but it is about the presence of connection. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2024. I would now like to welcome Dr. Stephanie Standiford, the Associate Program Director for Counseling, who will make a few remarks.
Good morning. Before I start, there is a very important student I would like to remember. Maria Margaret Lee was a student of our counseling at Northwestern Community from 2021 to 2022. Friends and colleagues describe her as being quick-witted, with a wonderful sense of humor, kind and compassionate, intelligent and imaginative, and an advocate for many. They said that her smile and outspoken ideas around inclusivity helped them feel welcome to engage in and maintain relationship with Maria. Those closest to Maria found with her a deep and everlasting connection. Faculty described Maria as hardworking and dedicated to her craft and were joyful in noting stories of Maria's contributions to class discussions. The counseling at Northwestern Community would like to remember Maria today, on the day she would have graduated with this cohort. Though she is deeply missed, she is a fondly considered part of this graduating class. We offer our sincere condolences to Maria's family and to you, her cohort. Let's take a moment to remember her. Thank you. Good morning, Dr. Chambers, esteemed faculty and staff, distinguished guests, family and friends, and most importantly, you all, the graduating class of 2024. Graduates, you balance classes, assignments, transcriptions, and recordings to Vera, Listen, and more. GSTS, Caesar, registration, filling your cart, asking for a seat, and then it came to juggling, borrowing Peter to pay Paul so you can get the coverage that you needed so that you could attend class and see your clients. Some of the Peter and Pauls that you borrowed from are sitting here in the audience. Why don't you join me in saying thank you to your loved ones for their support? It's a special day for you too. Maybe one day they'll get off your payroll. We can dream. Well, Dr. Chambers did a wonderful job of really highlighting the need for mental health, clinical mental health counseling services, and I just would like to double tap that and say, now, more than ever, you are needed. We are needed. If there's anything I learned from this election, is that if we are going to move forward, we are going to have to figure each other out. We are going to have to be in relationship with one another, whether I agree with you or not. And folks, you are now the specialists of relationships, conflict resolution, mediation, and ways to maintain the dignity and respect of the human condition. It is likely you chose this career not for accolades or recognition, but out of a deep-seated desire to make a difference in the lives of others, a calling. This calling requires humility. I still remember one of my first counseling sessions in the previous millennia. Intuitively, I knew I was made for this work, so I might have swaggered a little bit into my first session. But it was in that first practicum season that I humbly learned the true essence of our work. It's to listen. It's to understand. It's to be present. To bear witness to the client's experiences that formed the foundation of their resilience. And to do this well, we must remain curious. We must remain humble. After all, our clients are the experts of their story, and we have the privilege of understanding that and walking next to them as they make sense of it as well. When we create space for our clients to feel seen, known, and held, we uphold their dignity and respect, and that is our privilege and our honor. You are graduating from a self-reflective practitioner program. Your final reflection is due on Monday. Oh, somebody really finds that funny. Me too. Self-reflective practice becomes even more important when we experience external chaos and change. And as Dr. Chambers highlighted powerfully, current world, domestic, and personal events create a sense of chaos around the globe and in our communities. And when we experience chaos, we must seek clarity. You are not in these seats by accident. And an incredible combination of grit, sacrifice, hard work, and clarity is what drove you to complete this degree. Despite the hundreds of different priorities pulling at you, you Remain clear on becoming a clinically licensed mental health counselor. The practice of maintaining your clarity about who you are, what you stand for, and where you want to land is an absolute imperative that serves as the bedrock of our decision making. I want to also encourage you to practice self-compassion. Dr. Kristen Neff, self-compassion researcher, says this of self-compassion: having compassion for yourself means that you honor and accept your humanness. Things will not always go the way you want them to. You will encounter frustrations, losses will occur, you will make mistakes, bump up against your limitations, fall short of your ideals. This is the human condition, a reality shared by all of us. The practice of self-compassion occurs when we separate what we did from who we are. Cultivating self-compassion requires time and intention. One of my favorite quotes from Bill Gates is, "You are not a slacker if you cut yourself some slack." Lastly, let us recognize the power of our voices. As counselors, we have a unique perspectives on the challenges faced by individuals, couples, families, children, adults, systems, and communities. We must use this perspective to advocate for change. We must use this perspective to honor human dignity. Whether it is fighting for mental health resources, challenging stigma, or promoting policies that support well-being, our activism is crucial. You have the power to make ripples everywhere you go. Stay humble, surround yourself with other self-reflective clinicians. Together, we will address mental health and wellness, one client at a time. Congratulations, folks. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Katie Atkins. She will be introducing our class speaker.
Good morning. Please join me in welcoming our student speaker, Taylor Lintelman, a dedicated member of our graduating class, a high-achieving student with a passion for helping others. Taylor has consistently excelled, not just academically, but perhaps even more so with her contributions to you all. She is known for her kindness, enthusiasm, advocacy, and dedication to building community. She consistently checked in on each of you, from bridge to present day. She fostered spaces of open, courageous, and crucial conversation. Taylor, you have driven connectivity among all the folks in this room. You are a pillar of support, a driver of meaningful and authentic connection. Please assist me in recognizing her for her leadership and commitment to making a positive impact on this world. She will now share reflections on the journey that brought you all to this momentous occasion. Taylor.
I'm never nervous until Dr. Atkins introduces me, and she messes me up every time. So, hi everybody, how you doing today? Hi families, friends, everybody, thanks for coming. First, I want to congratulate the fall cohort on, oh, by the way, surprise, Dad. I want to congratulate the fall cohort on completing their capstone and making it through those final quarters. To everybody, raise your hand if you felt personally victimized by the annotated bibliography. Just so you know. We are all officially done and graduating from one of the top 10 schools in America. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Taylor Lintelman. I graduated in summer after starting the program in Bridge in 2022 on the standard track. Way back then, in the Airport Hilton Ballroom, I remember furiously writing down advice from the faculty. Two things in particular stood out to me. One was, do not fall behind. And the other was Dr. Standifer saying, when you want to quit, just think of the purple cap and gown. I was beyond honored that my cohort selected me to speak for Capstone, and am again honored that I have been given the privilege of speaking here today at Convocation to a group I so respect, admire, and have been changed by. Don't worry, I don't have any imposter syndrome at all. I'm going to borrow a quote from my capstone speech because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and because Carl Rogers always brought the heat. Carl Rogers once said, when I look at the world, I'm pessimistic, but when I look at people, I'm optimistic. This is reminiscent of how I feel when I'm with you all. Before the program, I was feeling lost about my next step. I recognized, though, that I was optimistic when I talked to others, whether comparing stories or being there for them, and I felt like that was one of the most valuable experiences we can have on planet Earth, connecting with people. Suddenly, I had an answer about what I wanted to do. Then I entered this program and felt even more optimistic when I met the members of this cohort. Because of you, I knew that I was in the right place and that this was a worthy endeavor. So why am I talking about all this optimism? I'm talking about optimism, hope, and light seen through the context of human connection because that is what I know you're all providing and will provide so well post-Northwestern. Even without all the training you want, having read all the books you want to read, or honing the skills you want to master, know that you are already doing the work. I know this because I have witnessed it, how people in this room have moved others from feeling small, unimportant, like an imposter, to offering the definition of optimism, hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. Now, for an altogether terrifying and comforting finding, one more little piece of research before we go. A large 2016 study published in the Journal of Counseling Psychology found that counselors do not become more effective over time. Hold for gasps. This isn't to say that we can't improve our approach or shouldn't continue to learn, but what I would urge everyone here, myself included, to remember and to continue to remember is that consider part of why this may be true. And that's because we already have what it takes. The instincts that brought us this far to this day make up the unique gift that is inside all of us to connect, support, and heal. Please do not forget that this part is innate and will surface and guide us if we allow it to. When the inevitable hiccups come, the days where you feel inadequate, wondering if you're making an impact, forget not this power that you have to make a difference for someone by simply showing up and connecting and letting your unique qualities radiate. Thank you to all the students and the staff for making this time so special, memorable, and transformative. Hold on tight to the force that brought you here. Go Wildcats. This world is a better place because you are all counselors in it. Thank you.
Graduates, would you please rise? Come on over. Oh, I have this one. Taylor. Jeffrey Seek.
Isabella Kozaglas. Ashley Stevens. Rihanna Boyd. Simone Jones. Ambria Olson. Julia Bazone. Sarah Jessup. Marika Yip Banik. Olivia Conway. Vanessa Rodriguez. Sarah Dritz. Alexa Michelle Haynes. Shivani Sharma. Sneha Subram. Let me start over. Sneha Subramania. Sarah Elizabeth Hamilton. Thea Stalker Haley. Jamie Bragg. Sarah Foos. Matthew Shin. Jasmine Joyce. Gail Smith. Mackenzie Wechter. Kyla Jo Shinye. Molly Whiff. Shayna Rashid. Prabhu Venkataraman. Laura Ann Smith. Isidora Torres. Melissa Sackley. Simi Matthew. Jacqueline Cruz. Camila Velarde. Kira Bollinger. Natividad Salgado Uehara. Hart McNicholas. Andrea Farfan. Andrea Figueroa. Richard Teddy Mendoza. Connor Mulcahy. Kate Evans Holmes. Kristen Seelock. Shelley Crossland. Lana Phillips. Tamara Tommy Sheridan. Marielle Ronaday. Kirsty Sayer. Anina McGonigal. Elizabeth Damron. Lindsay Dirks Lozama. Amanda Thompson. Celine Escalante. Misayo Welke. Elizabeth Naylon Kinnick. Melissa Jane Fishbein. Caroline Katz. Laura Condenanza. Karen Aprecio. Jasmine Luckett. Amanda LeGrand. Ryan Karji. Haley Montgomery. Kathleen Akpuachene Dufouride. Teresa Cheruyunchep Angel. Veronica Mejia Huila. Tyler Jamal Walker. Justin Spicer. Amanda Brescia. Haley DiPietro. Caitlin Nora Florita Stilson. Sarina Gupta. Naya Smith Wilson. Danielle Brooks. Rachel Zimmerman. Rachel Gowland. Sage Minette Nicholson. Kim Swendenson. Nicole Kuzlara. Tiffany Danielle McGraw. Robin Elaine Young. Samuel Dawson Curry. Hannah Dahmers Rogers. Victoria Patton. Courtney Succini. Abigail Goot. Claire Victoria Guittard. Samira Mohammed. Diavian Carpenter. Stephen Del Monte. Chase Morin. Teresa Daggett Artone. Tana Eng. Apeksha Mehta. Nicola Hoffert.
Northwestern University has granted you the degree for which you have been recommended. I admit you with all rights, privileges, and obligations thereto appertaining. Congratulations. To the class of 2024, on behalf of all the members of the Family Institute and Northwestern University, I congratulate and commend you. I would now like to invite everyone to the lobby for a celebration reception. Please remain seated during the faculty procession, and congratulations and cheers to you all.